Well, her name's Rock Chalk. She's the talk of the town. With her German Shepherd duo always sniffing around. Smith and Wesson by her side, they ain't just for show. They're the muscle when she's hustling, solving crime on the go. She's got her boots in the dirt, she's cracking the case. A true crime queen with a smirk on her face. Loves her country rap bumping, got that twang in that beat. You mess around with her, you're in for a treat. Oh, F-A-F-O, better watch your step. Rock Chalk's on the scene, she'll clean up your mess. With her dogs and her charm, she'll track you down slow. Oh, F-A-F-O, yeah, you reap what you sow. She's got a badge and a sassy attitude to boot. Kicks down doors like she's in hot pursuit. Smith and Wesson bark, don't you dare run. She's the queen of the scene, yeah, she gets it done. Country rap on the radio, she's cruising the street. From the city to the sticks, she's the one to meet. Her motto's real simple, don't try no bluff. Mess around all you want, but you'll find out quick enough. Whoa, F-A-F-O, better watch your step. Rock Chalk's on the scene, she'll clean up your mess. With her dogs and her charm, she'll track you down slow. Oh, F-A-F-O, yeah, you reap what you sow. She's got cowboy boots and a badge of steel. With a heart of gold and nerves unreal. You thought you could hide, but she's always in the know. Now you're caught, son, F-A-F-O. So here's the Rock Chalk and her Shepherd crew. Smith and Wesson got her back and they're coming for you. Country rap in her veins, she's the queen of the scene. F-A-F-O is her motto, and she's living the dream. Rock Chalk out. Hey! She's got cowboy boots and a badge of steel. With a heart of gold and nerves unreal. You thought you could hide, but she's always in the know. Now you're caught, son, F-A-F-O. So here's the Rock Chalk and her Shepherd crew. Smith and Wesson got her back and they're coming for you. Country rap in her veins, she's the queen of the scene. F-A-F-O is her motto, and she's living the dream. Rock Chalk out.
Can you guys hear me? Hopefully you can hear me good. And hopefully you can't hear the air conditioning. I am in the bus, so hopefully you cannot hear that. Good to see everybody. I know I'd scheduled this for 2. I wasn't thinking right. That would have made it 5 a.m. for Bianca. So we did change it. We're here. Good. You can hear me. Can you hear the air conditioner? Because I can turn it off. Okay, good. You guys say you can hear well, so I appreciate it. So I'd said in the last live, bring your pen and paper. If you got questions, please bring them. And here we are. Many of you hit me up, had a lot of questions. So I'm not going to say I have the answers, but I'm going to try to answer some of them. Or sometimes the chat. That's why we have a chat. Some people in the chat can answer them. Hi, Micah. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. I see everybody's in here. Let's just start. I'm going to start with, I agree in the fact of Amanda and her filings. And it seems to me that the 5, a couple of the 5, has tremendous assets. And a wrongful death suit, that's what the assets are for. You know, just because they're locked up looking at maybe the death penalty, life in prison, don't mean they shouldn't have to give up their assets for a wrongful death suit. In this wrongful death suit, it starts out at $75,000. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just interpreting what I can see, and it could very well be more than $75,000. It just says it's starting out at $75,000. Now, one thing I said the other day, and listen, I have not put this 142 pages down at all. I just keep going back to it and looking more, trying to make sure that I'm reading things the way they're supposed to be read. And I'm just going to tell you a few things that I'd found. One thing, I said something about the property in Georgia. I'm not so sure that's Tiffany's property. That could be the daughter's property. I don't know. So I'm going to take that back. Because after re-looking over every bit of this paperwork, it looks like all this property is in Cimarron County. So, but one thing that caught my eye is like Canyon's. Canyon signed his stuff on February 28, 2025. And that's when he took over the deed and the mortgage. And then that mortgage was turned around and paid off on March 7th, 2025. Looks like a notary says they met with Tiffany in person. That notary was Stanley Harper, met with Tiffany in person on 2/10/25. So that would say he had to go to the jail to meet with her. But he says he met with her in person. And then Tommy, the daughter, she signed the mortgage on March 6th, 2025. And it shows her mailing address as Keys, Oklahoma, and then it also has the address in Georgia. So I'm not real sure how that went. But Tiffany signed her paperwork on February 10th, 2025, starting this process of giving the property over for $10. $10 to her daughter, and then some more property, $10 her son paid for the property. Then they took over the mortgage, and I'm just assuming, so I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming that there was Tiffany's dad's trust fund, and the mortgages was paid off. The mortgages was turned around and paid off on 3/7/2025. It's kind of strange. And then, so all this was done in February and March. And Amanda filed the wrongful death suit on 3/3/25. That was marked, that's what it was stamped in the courthouse for, was that date. So a lot of this was done before the wrongful death suit was filed. Some of it was done afterwards. Like the release of the mortgage to Tiffany's daughter, that was released on 3/7. And Amanda's attorney filed that wrongful death suit on 3/3/2025. Let me check chat. I'll make sure I'm not missing any questions. And I know everybody's concerned about this case. Now, I'm just going to tell you the truth. The last couple of days, people really are concerned about Veronica and Wrangler's kids. As most might not know, the kids are no longer with the aunt and uncle. And people see the kids and people see the grandparents, and surely they're not allowing certain individuals around them children that are not supposed to be around them children. This case has bothered everybody and has concerned everybody. And it should be a concern. With what we saw in the paperwork that was shared with us by the aunt of Veronica's brother, he should be nowhere near them kids. So let's hope that that's not happening where they're around the kids. We know that the grandma goes and sees the kids, but does she have her kids with her? Does she have the sons with her? Interesting enough, huh? So I'm not going to go over every bit of this paperwork. Again, I shared it the other day where you can go in, you can look at it. Let's see here. Let's see a question. Let's see. Patrick, I have seen you many times before. Let's see here. How do they qualify for court-appointed attorneys for indigent if they had all these assets. I agree. I don't know. Because they have a lot of assets. That's a good question. That's a question to ask Buddy Leach. That's a question to ask the judge. How are they? Because you know as well as I do, if one of us was in that jail and we had any assets, we wouldn't be afforded a court-appointed attorney, right? So that's a very good question. Now, Tad, he hired an attorney. But yeah, the others have court-appointed. So again, that's a very good question. I don't know if they did it because of the charges. We're going to cover something else with Tad here in a minute. Well, I hope so too. I hope they're not allowing near the kids. Yeah, I do too. Surely they're smarter. Surely grandma's smarter than that. But it's been said before that the kids was still around. Even when Veronica was around, the kids were still, her brothers was still around the kids. I mean, if you guys think about it, I'm not trying to dog Veronica at all, but that's how Wrangler got full custody. It's because the kids were still being allowed around the brothers. Yeah, I wonder how assets were not frozen too. And they're still not frozen. You know, it seems like the courts keep saying, well, we're going to wait till something's ruled in court. No. All this farm equipment has gotten sold that Tad owned. I mean, that's what we're being told. We don't know. Let's say this again. You know, this is a YouTube channel. We are very invested in the Veronica Jillian case, the Kansas moms. We are entertainment. This is for entertainment purposes, but we all take it serious. These are my opinions. These are your opinions. This is our opinions. And what we want to do is keep it at our opinions. There you go. This channel is for entertainment only. Opinions here are my opinions only. Do not contact or harass anyone in the videos. Absolutely. Okay. So I agree. I agree. How do they get a court-appointed attorney? It's crazy. Hello, girly girl. Also, girly girl was at work and had said, dang, I'm going to miss another life. So I had to change it. I can't please everybody all the time, but I try to please the majority. If I know there's a good time, that almost everybody can be involved, that's what I'll try to do. Let's see here. Well, it's not just that. She better be, or she'll lose all visitation to her grandkids. Well, the kids have said in the past that they have seen the brothers, the uncles, since Veronica has passed. So somebody was letting them kids around Veronica and Wrangler's kids. No, Daisy Dale, no. They have court in August, and we're hoping that he gets custody of his kids. Now, let's remember, he never got custody of his kids taken from him, okay? Yes, he did go to rehab, but he's got, him and his wife has a daughter together, which would be his kids' half-sister, and then he's got some stepchildren where they live with him and his wife. So he's the male figure in the house. They call him Dad. You know, a big family over there. I've shown pictures before. Let me show you. Let's see here. Let's show you a picture. I put it on my page, but on the 4th of July, they sent me a picture of the family. I'm going to show it to you real quick. It's on a post that I had shared. I didn't know how to share it at the time, so I just put it, and I still don't, so here we are. I just put it on my posts here. If you go down here to July 4th, usually I try to stay up on this and post things that I see that you guys would be interested in. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. There's the family. There's Wrangler. Wrangler looks good. He's put on some weight. Looks really good. Has a good job. Just got a 4-bedroom house for him and his wife. Real excited about getting his kids. Real excited. But that's him and his wife. And that's the daughter that they share together. I'm not going to say names of the kids at all. And then you see there's 3 other children that are Wrangler's stepkids, but he is the father figure in that house. So just in case people had not seen it. Quite a few have seen it. 31 of you liked it and made comments, and I read every comment. Yes. So proud of it. So proud of it. Get back to questions here. Well, it wasn't just for you, girly girl. I know you're pretty easy to get along with, but you know, Bianca, she sets her alarm to get up, and she would have to get up at 5 in the morning. It is Monday morning at her place, and even extending it 2 hours, it's still 7 in the morning there, and then she's got to work. It's Monday. I know Nana Lou had a bunch of questions she had written down. I'm just going to say this. She said that she made plans to go with somebody at 4, so she couldn't be here. She can ask for questions at the next live. Because as far as I know, I don't think Deb got them questions, neither did I. So she can just ask them at the next live. Again, can't please everybody. Yeah, I pray he gets his kids too. I plan on being there in August. And I know it's going to cost him money. It's like a 13-hour drive for him to get to that court. So when we get closer, maybe we'll do a PayPal and see if we can help raise some money for gas and expenses. I plan on taking the bus down there. I can afford my own gas and stuff, but he cannot. He cannot afford the gas to get there and back home. If we can help him with that, we're going to try to help him with that. Again, nobody has to help him. Nobody has to donate at all. But when we get closer, maybe 2 weeks out, I'll share the PayPal, and I can assure you 100% of that money will go to their trip. It's not going to be a cheap trip. Yes, Wrangler and the family looks great. Yeah, the kids are beautiful. I agree. Hey, Leslie, how you doing? Good to see you. So again, don't usually like asking for stuff like that, but for Wrangler's been doing Zoom calls, and many of us has expressed that he needs to go in person before the judge. The kids need to be with Wrangler. I mean, they lost their mom, and regardless of how we all feel about the granny that's in jail, that's who they were with a lot, and they have her no more either. So they need to be with Wrangler and his family and their family. That's their family. Yes, Wrangler looks good. He sure does. Angel points for Bianca. Here we go. It's good to see everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna skip a little bit. If anybody has any questions on any of that paperwork that was just filed, trying to put a hold on selling anything, trying to put a hold on any of the 5 selling any assets at this time. Because if the wrongful death suit is won, which it looks like it should be won, I'm not an attorney, but it looks like it should be won. So if the wrongful death suit is won, the assets shouldn't be sold, right? They should be available to the wrongful death. Now, I have not seen anything yet filed from Heath, Jillian's husband. You know, he's got kids too. I'd like to see him file a wrongful death suit also. I think all the victims should, the assets should be maintained right now so that when there is a ruling in the wrongful death suit, they can do something with it. But that's just my own opinion. And, you know, sometimes my opinion just don't matter. Most of the time, my opinion don't matter. So now we're going to talk about Tad. I want to bring up his court case. Hold on. His court case with his daughter's mother. Now, this court case has been going on for a long time. It looks like since 2013. But at some point, Tad had purchased property in New Mexico for $200,000. Now, mind you, anybody that owns property, you know as well as I do, since COVID, our property values have went up. Hey, I'm Amy Conway. Good to see you, Jezebel Witch. They went up. Okay. I wanted to pull up Tad's and I think it's, oh, it's not Texas County. Let me back up. It's Cimarron. But let's remember, Tad has a daughter too, which Jordy, his ex-wife, has custody of. Now, Cimarron County Judge Cash has ruled that there was a stay in the custody hearing because he's incarcerated and can't make it to them hearings. Well, how fair is that? I'm going to show you something here. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Nope, that's still Amanda. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. This is for Cole. Trying to get to the one that is, yeah, we'll just do it this way since I'm here. This was on Tiffany's, but we're trying to get to bring up the court for Tad's. I'm not going to go every bit of it, but I'm going to show you something that's going on. No, I'm not trying to do StreamYard. Let's see here. Is it the docket search? Yeah, here we go. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to Cimarron County. We're going to go to Tad's. And then we'll go over the questions, if anybody has any. Yeah, Julian's family moved to Nebraska. It was a job, her husband is a pastor. It was a job that he had already got. I keep watching. I know the name of the church. I've not seen him do any pastor work there yet. Got to take in consideration what he's went through. They have children. Just a lot. So yeah, he is in Nebraska. Let me see what you guys are saying in chat before I pull this completely up and go to another thing. So yes, Julian's family moved to Nebraska and he's a pastor in a church. Last I heard anyway. Yes, that's correct. Okay. So here is Tad and Tracy. Tracy's his ex-wife. There's been a lot happening in this case. As you see. Looks like they have court coming up July 23rd. What is going to happen, what they're going to hear in July 23rd for them is there's some property that Tad bought in New Mexico while they were married. Well, he never told anybody about it and said he was single when he bought that property. And he's been supposed to prove how he acquired that property and how he's single having that property because he was actually married. So Jordy's trying to prove that it's marital property. Well, Tad also, his attorney filed a motion to stop child support because he's in jail and he has no way to pay child support. Now, how can that be fair? He can pay an attorney, but he can't pay his child support. Also, he's got all the assets. So according to the court records, she's not been getting any child support. He's only paid one child support, and that was in February of 2024. He didn't pay nothing after that. So with that said, she's saying, her attorneys are there. We still need to go over this marital property from New Mexico. We need to set it up so it can be sold. And his attorney's trying to hold her in contempt. His attorney's saying that it's not fair to Tad because he can't be present in the courts. Well, how's it fair to their child? She's not getting child support. Then there's another issue. Because they still have joint custody, even though he's in jail, they still have joint custody. Well, mom asked for her attorney sent paperwork to the jail to get a passport for the daughter. The daughter needs a passport because, for one, they're going on a cruise, her mom and stepdad and her, and they have a family member on the husband's side, her stepdad's side, that has a wedding coming up. And their daughter wants to be able to go to that wedding. Well, because Oklahoma, the way it's written, if you have joint custody, you have to have permission from both parents to get a passport. And let me see here if I can pull that up. And Tad's fighting every bit of that. He won't sign the paperwork for his daughter to get a passport. He thinks the wife's going to abscond her. Seems like he's the one that breaks the law. So that's my opinion. Let me get you to it. There's so much we haven't really went into his case just looking at it, but they had a camera interview with the daughter, all kinds of stuff. This has been going on as far as the fight with Tad and Jordy for a while. But anyway, we're going to skip over that and we're going to get down to the bottom here. Here you go. And let me bring this on the screen. He's the petitioner in that case. But do you think he should even have a say? I'm just curious what you guys think. Do you think he should have a say whether his daughter gets a passport or not? I mean, he's did to himself what he's did, right? You know, I don't know that I've never seen any paperwork about the death penalty being on the table yet. So I would assume that it's still open for the death penalty, other than for Paul Grice and Cora. They're the only two that has did deals so far. But anyway, here is the paperwork. Petitioner objection to respondent's motion for order allowing respondent to obtain a passport for minor child. Petitioner Tad Volt Colon, for his response to respondent's motion for order allowing respondent to obtain a passport for minor child, objects to the relief requested and submits the motion should be denied on the merits, and furthermore submits the respondent should be sanctioned for her direct violation of the court's order August 13, 2024, that ruled all pending motions and proceedings in the above entitled cause are hereby stayed until further order of the court lifting the stay this day, in support of his objection. How can the court make them wait all this time? Because it's going to be another year before they actually go to trial over the deaths of Veronica and Julian. So why should his daughter and her mom have to wait that long? And why should he still, if you're putting a stay because you're waiting for what happens with the criminal case, and he's saying that he has no means to pay child support or make it to court, you know, in most states, they would award that custody to whoever has the child and is providing for the child. He's in jail. Why does he still have shared custody? What do you guys think about that? You think he should still have shared custody and still have say in what goes on with his daughter when he's not providing, he's not there? Deb says, no, he shouldn't have no say. I don't think so either. I don't think he should have any say and what is going on. But he's trying to say here that that his ex-wife, if she gets a passport, she could abscond. She's not running from the law, but he thinks that if she gets a passport for the daughter, that they're going to run off somewhere and keep the daughter away from him. Hello, you're going to prison. Hello, you're in jail now. So who gives him a right to even have any say? That's my opinion. But anyway, I've been reading through all of this and just all the nonsense that's going on. And it just seems like to me that the courts are given more rights to these 5 defendants than they are the victims. That's what I think. That's what seems to be coming across to me. Why should his daughter not be able to go on family vacation with her mom and stepdad? And why should she not be able to go to a wedding when he's the one incarcerated? Why should he have any say? But on paragraph 8, petition denies paragraph 11 on the respondent's motion. Petitioner objects to the issuance of a passport for minor child on numerous grounds, including but not limited to the fact that the respondent is a flight risk, having disappeared for 6 weeks when the party's minor child was only 6 weeks old. Really? He's going to go back that far? And the respondent's emotional health is questionable. How does he know what her emotional health is? Hello? What's his emotional health? He's in jail. He's in jail and he's going to prison. What's his emotional health? Why are they putting all this on his ex that has custody of the daughter? It just makes no sense to me. And why a judge is entertaining it makes no sense to me either. But that's my opinion. The respondent's emotional health is questionable. Petitioner fears the respondent might plead with the party's minor child beyond the jurisdiction of this court in efforts to try to deny him any further relationship with his daughter. Hello? You're in jail. You're going to prison. Why should it even matter what you have to say? It shouldn't. Petitioner denies the respondent is entitled to the relief requested in paragraph 12. And then they're trying to say that Jordy, his ex-wife, is in contempt of court because the judge put a stay on that until further notice. Well, you know, at that time, I don't think they knew whether or not there was going to be a bail. And bail was denied. So why can't the judge rehear that? Circumstances haven't changed, but I think she left it open in case they changed. And he was not able to make bail. Not only that, do you think if he would have made bail, would that judge really give him any time with his daughter? Makes no sense. I mean, look what they did. They unalived 2 women and buried them in a freezer. What's to say, even if he would have, I don't see him ever getting bail. Even if he would have got bail, are you going to tell me that any judge is going to give him visitation with that daughter? I would surely hope not. Anyway, trying to make it so the daughter can't get a passport. I just think that's ridiculous. So I was reading over that just today. I was like, let me go back over that. Okay. I'm going to go back over your guys' question or your answers to me saying, should Tad have a say in this? I have insomnia too. Beach Baby says, no say. I agree. Let's see what Winchester says. Winchester says, he shouldn't have a say, especially when he has committed murder on 2 innocent women. I agree. So why is there still joint custody? And why does the daughter and the ex-wife have to go through all this to get him to sign something? Like, why don't they give all that power to the ex-wife who's not in jail and not looking at a death penalty? Why are they making them go through hoops and deal with Tad? Because you guys know as well as I do, Tad's just going to fight everything. He refused to sign this. Refused to sign this. Hello, Winchester. Let's see here. He's just a pastor at Willow Church, yeah. In Indiana, Nebraska, just east of my hometown of McCook. My friend there tells me that he is well loved there and doing well. Yeah, they they go live on Sundays. I've yet to see him, though. I know he went there to be a pastor, and they gave him a house and stuff. But I don't think he's acting as a pastor right now. But I could be wrong. I look every Sunday. Jane says, right, Rock. Beach Baby says she is a nice lady, so she must know Jordy. Hawkeyes is asking Jay Thomas. That's so great to hear. Thank you for sharing. I do hope that Heath files a wrongful death too. I'm going to tell you the truth. When I met with Veronica's parents, when they were still missing at the site on L Road, I said to both of them, you need to get an attorney. And they said, well, why would we need an attorney? I said, you're going to need an attorney. An attorney that will work in your best interests. Heath grew up in Bartley, just east of Indiana. Yeah, he grew up in New Mexico. Or in Nebraska. He's from Nebraska. You are correct. Yeah, he stayed pretty quiet. He stayed pretty quiet. And maybe it's because there was so much else going on with the other party to the case. I mean, that's why his wife was there. It was because of Veronica's case. Well, he had his daughter. Tad never saw his daughter at all. He had his daughter. He was seeing his daughter because it says in the paperwork that he had his daughter. I don't know. It was joint custody. I don't know how often he had his daughter, but it said that he was in a joint custody agreement and he was seeing his daughter at that time. Now, we all know he's in jail. He can't see her now. Can't see her at all now. And I don't even know how old his daughter is. I would say she's probably a teenager. I don't know, though. Nor would I say if I did know. But I would say I think she's a teenager. But again, yeah, yeah, Beach Baby, that's true. It's in the paperwork that he had her that weekend that the murders took place, but she was sick. So he was having, he had shared custody and he did have her. In the paperwork, it says that he had her that weekend, Easter weekend, but she was sick, but she was with him. Tad will continue to have rights until he's convicted if Oklahoma is anything like Kansas. But he's looking at the death penalty. He's looking at the death penalty. What they did is wrong. And I know you're innocent until proven guilty. But I don't know. I just think a judge, I think it's up to the judge. I think a judge can make any rulings they want, it seems like. So Winchester, it's sad how some parents take things out on kids for their faults. Tad hopefully can never see his daughter again after all he's done. Well, right now, I just don't understand. And I've been in Kansas courts a lot too. I've sat in them courts. I've watched a lot of cases in the courts. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen a lot of times when somebody's in jail or prison, they don't have shared custody. They don't have joint custody. Joint custody is where both parents have the same amount. Now, shared custody, they can have shared custody. Let me correct that. In Kansas, they can have shared custody, but one parent is the relevant parent that makes all the decisions. So, but is that daughter old enough to speak for herself? I don't even know. Not sure. Girly Girl says, my son had full custody of his, and when he was arrested, crackhead mother tried to get custody, and the court said no. I got custody of them until my son was released from jail. But your son wasn't on murder charges. I mean, there's a difference if you're temporarily going to be in custody, right? Temporary custody. I don't see either one. Yeah, they're innocent until proven guilty, but I don't see any one of these five ever walking the streets again. I mean, granted, Cora got a deal of a century, 30 years plus 10. I mean, she might live to walk outside the prison walls, but who knows? Her babies are grown. her grandkids are grown now. But yeah, her son did have custody of them kids. Yeah, I'm going to say that too. Why should they have joint custody? I think it's different. It's one thing when you get in trouble and you're going to get locked up for a little bit of time, okay? They're never going to see the light of day, right? Why should they? Your son was facing life? Wow. I've sat in that same courtroom, I'm going to tell you. Most of the judges will take and give a shared custody, and the parent that has the kids, they have to say. Well, it depends on what you're saying. CW, that is Cora's daughter. They released that information. They did not redact her name at all. Her name, her brother's name is in that paperwork, which is very sad. And we know that in December, she was in a hotel room so that if they needed her in court, that they could get her right over there to testify. Protective custody, I believe she lives with her dad. But I think they're all still in danger, to be honest with me. Any of these children are still in danger because where's the rest of these misfits and how far will they go? How much did they know? I mean, shoot, every paperwork we're seeing that the cooks pretty much knew everything, but Cora says they didn't. But it looks like they were everywhere they went. They even went to the Call of Arms at Tiffany's, right? And then Frank and his wife. How much do they all know? And what are they doing for protective custody? I think when they said protective custody, Jezebel, I think they're supposed to redact her name, but they're not redacting her name. But do they have like a law enforcement sitting outside her house protecting her? If that's what you're asking, I'd say probably not. Girly girl was talking a little bit about what her son was charged with. He had a World War I Tommy gun, highly illegal to own without a permit, and a guy was shot. But courts are different in different states. So I guess my question would be, how is Chad's in jail and he's never getting out? Why does he still have say over his poor daughter? I don't understand. Don't understand. It just makes no sense to me. These kids, all these kids of any of these five, these kids have been traumatized, every one of them, from Wrangler's kids to Jillian's kids, all the way to Cora's kids. I mean, everyone, Paul Grice's kids, all of them, their whole lives have been uprooted. Why should, like in Tad's situation, why should he still be able to uproot his daughter's life and cause conflict for her when he's never going to get out? Okay, so you say he's innocent until proven guilty. I get it. So still go ahead and he's in jail. Go ahead and give Jordy full custody of her daughter where she don't have to even mess with him to get something signed. She's got full custody. She don't even have to send paperwork to the jail and wait for him to sign something that he's refusing to sign. To me, it seems like that it's punishing his daughter all over again. Wouldn't you say? I mean, I'm sure the daughter wants to go on that family cruise. I'm sure she wants to go with the family to that wedding. And it does not say where the wedding's at. It just says she needs a passport for the wedding. But why should he be able to still have say in that? I mean, honestly, if he was out of jail, this would be being fought in court anyway. But I see it making a big difference that he's in jail. Why does he have any say on whether she goes on a cruise with her family or she goes to a wedding and gets a passport? And I just think Jordy's trying to make sure she did everything by the courts. I wonder how many people actually go behind the courts and get a passport. I mean, could she have got a passport and not told anybody? Maybe. I don't know. I think she was trying to do it right. Girly Girl's son has his own business, has a big, beautiful house. Yeah, he's doing very well. Daisy Dale says Tad needs to be told to fuck off. And right now, I agree. I don't think he should have any say. Why should he be able to still make his daughter's life miserable? Is he jealous? Do you think he thinks that his wife's going to abscond with their daughter so he can never see her again? Dude, you're going to be locked up for the rest of your life. So why are we giving the ones charged with murder all the power? We're still giving them all this power. Why? I don't understand why we're still giving them all this power to be able to do these things. You know, I never tried to get a passport for my kids. So I don't know. But there's plenty of people out there that's never seen their daddies. And some of us never seen their mamas. Their mamas left. And they're able to get passports. So the courts can rule on it. Why is she even having to send things to the jail for him? I mean, that might be how it's set up, but a judge can overrule that. Take away joint custody, take away shared custody, give her full custody. Yeah, it's all about control. All about control. I agree. It's all about control. And why is he able to still have this control after everything is did? You think it's fair that he still has all this control? I don't. Winchester, I will never understand why a judge lets the taxpayers pay for these criminals sit in jail getting 3 meals a day, 3 hots in a cot, TV, air conditioning, etc. Let's not forget about their they're not iPads, but you know, they're tablets. They get tablets too. When they committed murder in the first degree, I agree. You guys are paying for it. We're paying for it. All of us taxpayers are paying for it. But we're still from jail. Seems like they're letting all of them rule. Tiffany's allowed to sell all this property for $10. Sold 4 pieces to her son, 4 pieces to her daughter for $10. Now, anybody in the right mind knows she did it so that that property couldn't be sold. That tells me, because originally they went after Tiffany's dad's estate, and that estate can't be gone after. So Tiffany must have been concerned, because she damn sure sold the property to each of her kids. Didn't give Wrangler anything, but her other son and daughter gave them a lot of property for $10 each. That tells me she did it so that that property couldn't be taken and sold, and the assets split on the victims. People in this chat blow my mind. There's some tough ass here that have been through it. It's a really reality check. I've been lucky with my kids. Thank fuck. I agree. My point is why do we have to keep tiptoeing? Why does Jordy have to tiptoe around Tad to do things with her daughter? He's not even paying child support. He says he has no means. What do you mean he has no means? He had a lot of farm equipment that got sold. Now, that one that I showed that's in the paperwork for $145,000, that paperwork looks like that was also financed. I don't know how much equity it had in it. It don't say. But when I was looking at that paperwork, it said that you would have to get a commercial loan to get that tractor. That you couldn't, not just your everyday person could buy that tractor, is what it said in that paperwork. Jezebelwitch says, if Tad cared one bit about his child, he wouldn't have been running around with anvils and planning murders. I agree. Now, he was able to harass Jordy all this time since 2013. And now he's locked up and able to harass her. Now, do you think, because they had major custody battles, and then this property in New Mexico, she said, that was marital property. He obtained that while we were married. We hadn't got the divorce yet. I mean, could she have been the next one if they'd have got away with this? Could she have been the next one? Very possible. You know, I sent this paperwork to Wrangler. Along with it, the day I got it, along with it, I said, there's going to be things in here that's going to upset you. And you need to make sure it don't upset you. he immediately called me, 7 o'clock in the morning. Called me and said, Rock, I'm used to it. This is not going to upset me. I said, yeah, but your mom sold property to your brother and sister and don't look like she left anything for you. And he said, I'm used to being the black sheep. He said, growing up, everybody thought I had lots of money because I was part of the Adams family. He said, I didn't get anything. But his sister and brother got a lot. Now, can one say that Wrangler was maybe doing some bad things, drugs and stuff? He says he did. Had an alcohol problem. You don't have any of them problems no more. We've discussed the fact that rehab was probably the best thing for him. Now, Wrangler said that Buddy Leach, even though Wrangler was set up by Tad, Buddy Leach could have sent Wrangler to prison. That was all on Buddy Leach, and Buddy Leach is the one that recommended him go to rehab. So I will say that Wrangler is very thankful of that, and Wrangler knows he needed it. Wrangler went to rehab, and he took it seriously, and he's kept it serious. He don't go into liquor stores. He's very involved with the church, very involved with his children. He stays very busy. And just recently, like I said, he just got that 4-bedroom house. He's been trying to make sure he has everything set up for when he gets his children. Jezebel Witch says, the blood has been spilled and his hands are soiled with guilt. Yeah, talk about Dad. I agree. Winchester agrees and Jane agrees. I agree with you too. They've hurt so many people. These 5 have hurt so many people and continue to keep hurting these people. And only the courts can stop it. Only the courts can stop it. I mean, just imagine, like I said, Beach Baby, at some point he might not have had anything to do with this child, but according to the paperwork, he had his child that weekend. And I'm just going to say, she's probably going through a lot. I mean, even Wrangler's going through a lot. Okay, it's still his mom. Even though he don't talk to her and stuff, it's still his mom. So he don't agree with what she did, but it's still his mom, right? Tad's still going to be this child's dad. But why should he have say when he said this horrible thing? Why should she not be able to get a passport? Why should she not be able to go on family vacation? Why should she not be able to go to this wedding? I don't think you should have a say, but that's my opinion. We'll see. We'll follow the courts. Again, the court on that's July 23rd. Judge Cash, see what Judge Cash has to say. If Judge Cash is watching, she said she don't watch YouTube and she don't watch the news. So, and she also said she hasn't followed this case. So, and I believe her. If she says it, I believe her. I actually thought Judge Cash was a nice lady. So, I think she'll do the right thing for this daughter. I mean, unless there's some law in Oklahoma that prevents her from doing it, I think she'll do the right thing. Beach Baby says Wrangler's a good kid. I've said this from the beginning. I've seen nothing that says that Wrangler knew anything about this. Now, does Veronica's family not like him? They probably don't. A lot of the stuff that his mom did, do they blame on Wrangler? Probably. They probably do. Is that normal? Probably. I think he's a good kid. I've not seen anything that would say that he had any idea that they were capable of this, or that they were even planning this, or that he knew anything about it. Daisy Dale, poor Wrangler, feels so sorry for him. That witch let him down so badly. Yeah, she did. And it's really kind of strange. And if Wrangler's aunts are paying attention, I know one reached out to me, and he called that particular person, and they spent maybe 2 days together, and then now nothing. And I know the sisters have heavy contact with Tiffany. Would you feel bad? Okay, so what if a caseworker told you it's either your kids or your mom? You can't have contact with both. I pick my kids every day, all day, and twice on Sunday. And I believe, this is my personal opinion, I believe that's the choice he was given too. Because he was talking to his mom and listening to her. But did he agree with her? No. But he was talking to her. So with that said, he no longer is talking to her. if you're given the choice to, if you're talking to your mom, you can't talk to your kids, I'm going to pick my kids. Jezebel says he may not have received anything from Tiffany, but he can walk away with a clear conscience, and everything he has isn't reeking with ties to a killer. Exactly. Everything he has, he's worked his ass off. Now, he does have several old cars on Tiffany's land that he would like to have, but this is what we talked about. He'd like to have them. But you know what? He don't have them now, so, and he's doing just fine. So even if he don't get them cars back, sometimes it's starting fresh and just going on. And he started fresh and he's did really good. I've seen him since he got out. I've seen him just accomplish so many things. He's got a good job. Again, he's very involved with the church, and he don't just do it because he wants, because court, it looks good in court. He really takes it seriously. He does take it serious. As a matter of fact, I'd asked him if he got custody of the kids, which he should get custody of his kids, if he would still let Veronica's family have contact with him. He said, absolutely. Absolutely. Unless they are doing something, to try to sway the kids a certain way, I'm not going to stop them from having contact with them. So I thought that was good. Daisy says, how can any mother treat her son in this way? Yeah. Well, she did it when she was alive that way. I don't think Wrangler really realizes how bad he was treated, but he did say that many times he'd wake up and have a gun in his face, that Tad would have a gun in his face. He rented a house, a little white house from Tad, and the threats on his life was real. And his mom didn't seem to stop it. So I don't think he would lie about it. I really don't. But the good thing is Wrangler's learned how to do it on his own, get it on his own. And so everything he has right now, he's got on his own. Like you said, no blood money, no nothing. He's got it on his own. She's more of a mob boss than a mother. Yeah, many people has told me. I've heard both sides of Tiffany. I've heard people that liked her and thought she was a good person, and I've heard people said that she was a control freak, always was a control freak. Jane says, Wrangler got a lifetime of stuff to deal with. Yeah, he does. But I think he's a survivor, a good lad. Yeah, he is. I know he's not sitting back saying, oh, just like with the land. Okay, well, whatever. Everything I've gotten on my own. Wrangler is not responsible for what his mother did. I've said that 1,000 times. And some people still try to put him in that category. And maybe Veronica's family does that too. Anytime two people have a child, your family's kind of going to be bonded just because of the children. And when things go wrong or that relationship goes wrong, your side, your side will defend you and their side defends them. I know on a couple of occasions, Veronica's mother was like, well, you don't know how he treated Veronica. You're right, I don't know. I wasn't in the relationship. I just know at some point they loved each other because they had 2 kids. That bonded them, regardless of how anybody felt about it. Hey, Lucy, good to see you. Doesn't get the little mother. See? Yeah, I mean, I think they got enough evidence, and it's just going to be, going through the court and stuff. And I don't think any of them will get out. I really don't. I don't think they'll get out. The deal that Cora made, she might have a little bit of time outside them walls, but who knows? Yes, Wrangler's driving good. He's doing really good. Yeah, I agree. Hard times can fix the man. I mean, honestly, he had 90 days in the rehab where he could not talk to anybody. Unfortunately, he has to spend a lot of that time with OSBI. If you guys aren't aware of it, you have to talk to OSBI. Could you imagine being in a rehab where you have no contact with anybody? None of your family, your kids, nothing. That was part of the rule. He could have rehab, but he couldn't have phone privileges or anything to talk to anybody. And then OSBI comes over and you find out from OSBI that the mother of your kids is missing. At that time, they were missing. And did he know anything? And of course he didn't know anything, but again, he's in there trying to get help. It was ordered. It was court ordered, but he was glad it was ordered. And he had to answer all these questions, and that's how he found out. It's because they were missing, and then of course they come back and talk to him when they were found and what happened. For you to see a smile, good to see you always. Hey, thanks for keeping us all informed. Appreciate everything you do. Well, you guys keep me informed. You know, I just didn't happen to find that this paperwork was released over on the wrongful death suit. Somebody shared it with me and said, hey, have you seen that's over on the wrongful death suit? It's got Cora and Paul Grice's testimony. Now, do I personally think that's a mix-up? That somebody in Texas County really made a mistake and didn't redact them? I do. So it releases all the names. But I'm glad they did. But KFDA, Channel 10, they did a news broadcast the same night that I found out about 10:30 that night. At 10 o'clock, they did a news broadcast. And the news broadcast, I'm going to play it for you again. I played it the other day. And I'm going to say that the person that told me about this probably watched this news broadcast. Now, if you're down there in the Panhandle, more than likely, you're watching KFDA out of Amarillo. Let's see here. Let me find this. Here we go. I would assume that the person that told me also watched this. Now, I was talking to somebody in the area the next day, and I said, man, I don't know how much of this I want to cover because I just feel like somebody in Texas County really made a mistake. She said, wow, it was on the news, and that's what led me to go look this up on the news. It wasn't because I saw it. So it was mentioned to me, so I went and looked at it. So if somebody says, Rock got a hold of information, listen, the news put it out.
At 10, News Channel 10 has obtained the transcript of the preliminary trial on the murders of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, which include testimony from two of the defendants in the case.
News Channel 10's Paige Stockton has been pouring through these documents over the last several weeks and breaks down key details.
In December, Paul Grice and Cora Twombly gave testimony about preparation, day of, and days following the murders of these women. In the testimony, Grice said in exchange for his testimony, he would be getting off the death penalty, while Twombly had a plea deal for her to serve 30 years in prison before she is available for parole. The hearings went into details describing Tiffany Adams recruiting both Twombly and Grice into his plan after describing in graphic detail the abuse of Veronica's children by the hands of a family member. Veronica was on supervised visitation with her children after the abuse allegations. In the testimony, Grice and Twombly described how Adams asked them to be involved in the murders and the preparation leading up to that day. The documents lay out each of the defendants' roles on the day, the Twombly's being lookouts, Grice and Cullum killing the women, and Adams cleaning up and supervising. Grice tells the court how he stabbed both of these women, cutting his hand in the process. He also says he felt set up by Adams, claiming he felt that he was going to take the fall for the murders. He described Adams walking around the body of Veronica and laughing in a way he described as evil. Grice also admits to lying to the OSBI agents in his first interviews. Cora Twombly's testimony described the meetings of God's misfits and a plan to murder Butler with an anvil vise on her birthday that failed. She also goes into details about how her daughter knew about the plans before, but in the end was the one who initially spoke with the police. If you wish to read the entirety of the preliminary hearing transcript, you can go to our website. We will advise that much of the testimony is difficult to read and may be considered disturbing. All 5 defendants are scheduled for further proceedings set for July 30th. Reporting in studio, Paige Stockton, News Channel 10.
Okay, in chat, I just shared it.
There is a lot to unpack here as far as next steps and what could happen in court.
Okay, so I shared it in the chat. I'm going to go over the comments, but I did share it in the chat. That link, if you click on it, should take you right to all the paperwork. All the paperwork. Okay, they better not get out, Beach Baby says, and Judge Bowich said they don't deserve to get out. And the other misfits should stand trial as well. I'm a firm believer that there's so many more misfits, and how much did the Cooks know? How much does Frank Twombly know? And most of all, Clint Twombly, they say in there, Cora and Paul Grice says that Clint Twombly was part of the misfits. Now, I want to know who voted in Boise City, because he won the sheriff election. Clint Twombly won the sheriff election. Now, I'm being told that the only reason he didn't take over the sheriff job is because his wife has cancer and is in Dallas, Texas, getting treatments. But the way I understand it, that's the only reason that he didn't take over that sheriff's job. Now, he was going also to them seminars to be a nationalist, basically a sober citizen. And you guys, whoever voted for Clint Twombly, you voted him for the sheriff. Who does that? I don't understand. It's straight up awful. I agree. I agree, Lucy. Jane says, they won't get out, Beach Baby. If some do, they will be so old. Listen, the way that Tad looks when he goes out there, I am convinced that he's trying to plan an escape. And I'm still convinced of that. And my personal opinion, I don't think the Texas sheriff he thinks he's got enough people and that could never happen. Well, we pointed out every flaw, and I'm sure there's more. Every flaw that was happening when they were taking them to and from court. As a matter of fact, police on the cuff, Bill came on, said it looked like they were going to a picnic. He couldn't believe either how easy that it would be for them to escape. It's crazy. It's crazy. For you to see a smile, praying your grandbabies are doing good. They're doing great. They're growing. They have no health issues. Definitely miracles. How's your granddaughter liking the babies now that she didn't get a sister? Well, she wanted to turn the babies back in. She poured cold water on Walker, but they got hit with the storm. We got floods here too. Didn't get bothered with the floods, but over at my daughter's house, the floods, I don't know how to explain this. Kind of, you're talking, I don't even know how old these trees are, but these trees were really old. Big old oak trees fell on their house. Found out Thursday, 72,000 just on the roof and the trusses. Now these trees smashed their porch, smashed their vehicles. They have my vehicle right now. Smashed 2 of their vehicles, smashed their fence, and took the electric right off the wall. Now the electric's back on there, but the roof's not stable. So they've got to go back in and rebuild that roof. So right now, my daughter, her husband, the twins, and my granddaughter are living in a hotel. And it sucks. It sucks. So, but they're dealing with it. They're dealing with it. Last weekend, they came over and got my park passes, and they went out to the lake to visit some friends. That's the only place they've been since the twins were born. And I tried to get them to take the bus, but my son-in-law would not take the bus. I said, take the bus. And he said, no, we're just going for the afternoon. We'll put a playpen up, and the kids can get rest there. Okay, here is the link. For those of you who want to go read it, it is very hard to read. It's really small. I printed it and still had to use a magnifying glass. So there's a lot of paperwork in there, and there's a lot of things said that I did not repeat in my life. So if you are interested in this case, go look at that paperwork. It's very interesting. Yeah, cackling witch. Yeah, it said she went in a circle around the bodies and was making all kinds of noises. Yeah, I agree. They don't just quit being part of that group because 5 of them get arrested. Okay? I think they're still part of that group. Ostrich says, darn, I took a nap and now I'm late. Well, we was just going over, Tad's daughter wants to get a passport so she can go on family vacation on a cruise and to a wedding. Her stepdad's family is having a wedding that's somewhere where she needs a passport, and Tad still has power over that and is refusing to sign for her even to get her passport. That's sad. Jane says, laugh out loud, naps are good, Ostrich, love a nap. Listen, I have insomnia. So when I do get to sleep, I try to sleep. and my husband don't even wake me. And even if I wake up, I force myself to go back to sleep just so I have to get sleep when I can. That's how it works. I have to get sleep when I can. I'm not usually a nap person, but I say if you can take a nap, get that nap. Beach Baby says she is evil. Yes, I agree. I agree. Well, we'll have another live on this. And I mean, I've had people reach out to me and say that Beasley had health problems. Okay. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. Because he testified, we don't have that testimony, but he testified also in December. He didn't look really sick. Those of you who watched the documentary, did Beasley look sick on the documentary? Because he didn't to me. He might have been walking with a cane, but he didn't look sick. Did you guys think he looked sick? Oh, and I had to take that documentary down. It gave me a strike, so that documentary is not up no more, but you can find it. All you got to do is go look for Kansas Mom. I don't understand how some YouTube people are able to share it, some's not. But anyway, it is what it is. For you to see a smile, never did say when Tad and Paul got any clothes to put on. I think they went naked. I think they went back to Tad's without any clothes on. Must have been crazy, them both being naked, running around, laying out the hay. I know, right? Where all he had was his socks on. Paul Grice said the only clothes he had on was his socks, which I'm going to assume he had his underwear on too, but I mean, probably had a lot of blood on them clothes. But in what was taken from the hole, I didn't see underwear. I saw Wrangler jeans. There was some hoodies. I don't think we saw underwear, but you're right. Because no, Cole says Cora says they never took clothes to him. Well, you know, I have met somebody that her aunt was married to Grice's brother. And when they got that inheritance or inherited that land, probably, oh, I missed something here. I see it, Jane. I'm going to go back to it. When they inherited that land, it seemed to me that they were all doing meth. And they had to quit doing meth to be able to get the land. But if you guys remember, when they talked to to Beasley, he said he had been gambling, and they asked him when the last time he did meth, and it was the day before. So, I mean, maybe they got clean enough to get that land. So, and then he went back to his drug problem. I mean, that's very possible. I mean, that's just assumptions, but it's what it sounds like from looking at everything. Jane says, magnesium rock. I'm an insomniac, and it's brilliant. You don't wake up with a hangover. It's a healthy alternative that relaxes. I'll have to try that. Rick just got me some, what the hell is it called? It's made by Vicks. Anyway, it's not working. It seems like when I take it, it just does the opposite. For one, it makes my stomach sick because it tastes nasty. I think it tastes nasty. Let me write this down. And then it don't let me sleep. It makes me want to stay up more. So I'll try that. Daisy Dale says, sorry to hear about the storms, Rock, affecting your daughter's family home. Prayers also to those who lost their lives in the Texas flood. Absolutely. You know, we were talking about cloud seeding. And I will tell you, I watch Sean Ryan a lot. And a month ago, he had the owner, the president of that company for cloud seeding on there. Let's see if I can pull that up so I can just show you. But he also had him on there just the other day because some people are blaming them for these floods. But he says that the owner says that there's no way that what they did 2 days before that it can produce that much rain, is what he says. Let's see here. Let's see if I can share it with you. Okay. Did cloud seeding cause the Texas floods? There it is. And there's the owner of it right there. He's the founder, CEO of Rainmaker Technology. And supposedly they did, 2 days before that, they did some cloud seeding. But he explains how it all works and everything. But here was the one for a month ago. And he's talking about his company that he owns on Sean Ryan. And then Sean brought him back because a lot of people were saying that, and see, he's got an OU shirt on, OU sweatshirt. Anyway, if you're interested in watching cloud seeding, you can go watch both of these with Sean Ryan show. His name's Augusta Dorco, CEO of Rainmaker, Manipulating the Weather. That was a month ago before the floods even happened, and Sean brought him back 2 days ago. Go check it out. It's interesting, and they explain it all to you, so go check it out. If you are interested in that, go check it out. Back to my daughters, we have insurance. Just to have the trees removed was $32,000. That was just to remove the trees. And now the house, just the roof, is $72,000. Now that don't include the fifth wheel and the damage to the fence, the damage to the shed. I mean, that's just the roof and the trees removed. That's not the rest of the damage. So you're looking at probably $200,000. It's a lot of money. No. Winchester, did they say what Beasley died from? Not in his, not in his obituary. And maybe they do this down there in Guyman, but he died that morning and the obituary was out by that afternoon. I had several people call me that morning and say, hey, Judge Beasley James Beasley passed away. I said, really? They were like, yeah. I said, well, you got any paperwork on it? No. Then one of them called me back that afternoon and said, hey, are you going to go over Beasley passing away? I said, well, I'm thinking about it. She said, there's an obituary out already. So then I went live and showed you guys because I wanted the proof, but get an obituary within hours of him dying? It's kind of strange too, I think. So I didn't, none of the family reached out to me to say he's been sick. Just people in the area thought he'd been sick. So I don't know. Yes, Jane, I sell magnesium. Magnesium, it's fixed me rock. I'll try it. I do have all the lotions from Hawkeyes, but I will get magnesium to take internally. I do, but I think I've got I use it, but I don't think, I think I need one that I can take and it gets internally, right? That's what you're saying? Hawkeyes, I thought you ran a biker bar, or laugh out loud. Did I dream that? Listen, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Hawkeyes is Nighthawk. She's the same person, and she's a good person. I think back when we had some craziness going on in this channel, I think she was just taken the wrong way. She feels really bad about it too, and we don't care about the past. We love Hawkeyes, and she's a really good friend. I spent a month down there. I think she's a great person, and I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the ladies that was in here was really hard to deal with, and some of you might not know it, but they were trying to investigate everybody in here, wanted to get all your information, and I just wasn't having it. And anyway, Hawkeyes is a good person. So, and no, she don't own a biker bar. So hopefully that clears up some of that. Should I blame magnesium? That is so much money. We love Hawkeyes, okay? Listen, sometimes we listen to the wrong people, okay? And sometimes we just kind of go our own way, and then we kind of see things were different. So it is what it is. We're all good. Oh my God, yeah. Will the insurance cover that cost, Rock? Yes, every bit of it. And it's been a fight. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been a fight. I keep having to call the insurance and say, hey, what's up? My daughter's having to call them. They would write checks and say, well, you got to wait 10 days. Well, we didn't have 10 days to wait. Them trees had to be cut. And so my daughter would have to drive to the bank that State Farm uses to cash it, and then they would still give her a hard time. And then our agent would listen. It's been a nightmare. It's been a nightmare. But yes, we do have insurance, but it's been a nightmare. Hawkeye says not necessarily. I can't remember if I sent the one with melatonin in it, which helps you sleep. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at them. Actually, give me just a second. I think they're right here in the bus. I think I put them in the bus. Hold on. I'm coming back. Okay. Yes, it's out here in the bus. So let's see. See what this says. Magnesium lotion. Good night. Yep, I got it right here. I'll take it in with me. So I do have the magnesium. Yes, she is a beautiful person, and I love her too. Absolutely. Jane says, I love Hawkeyes. She runs a biker bar. Ha 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 ha. Sorry, Hawkeyes. Got no idea where that came from. Laugh out loud. You own a biker bar and I didn't know it? Shit. Yes, insurance sucks dealing with. Absolutely. Oh, that's good, Rock. I know insurance can be a complete nightmare, very hard to get them to pay out. Yes, it's extremely hard. It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. Yeah, we love Hawkeyes. Absolutely. Hawkeye says, Jane, I could, though. I have my own building. Before long, COVID, I have, hold on, let me read that better. Jane, I could, though. I have my own building. Before long COVID, I have everything for a coffee shop. Yeah, so long COVID got Hawkeyes down bad, real bad. She's still suffering from the long COVID. Absolutely, still suffering from it. Let's see here. Yes, I have it, sir, and that was what the grade was too. Okay. Maybe I saw your future, Hawkeyes. There you go. Hawkeye says, Jane, you're amazing. I plan on taking the bus and go and get Hawkeyes, and we're going to go on a trip. Get Lavender and just go on a trip. Jane, maybe next year we can make it to the Burning Man. I'm not going to forget about Burning Man. I still want to do Burning Man. Unfortunately, right now, I'm glad we wasn't able to do it right now because I'm having to help my daughter out a lot. And with that said, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go down July 30th for the court because my daughter has my SUV, and that means if I take the bus and the Jeep, Rick don't have anything to drive. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not ever driving the bus without a second vehicle. Okay. One thing I've realized with having, the bus is that it's a money pit. It's a money pit. I mean, we bought the bus in September, and we put almost $10,000 into it already. Some things didn't work. It seems that they had a power surge. All the TVs didn't work. I've had to replace all the TVs. The inverter didn't work. That was $3,000. There's just a lot of things that comes along when you have a recreational vehicle. And now the double refrigerator freezer, it's only working on the propane. It's not working on electric. So, I mean, that's another thing that's going to have to be replaced. It's a date, Rock. I'm body painting you. Damn straight you are. Jane and her body painting. That's right. I'm looking forward to it. I always wanted to go to Mardi Gras and be painted. So I'll definitely do it at Burning Man. Winchester says, I am getting off in prayers that Ad's daughter gets her passport. I agree. He shouldn't have any say when he is in jail for a minute. Hey, here in a minute, I might sign on real quick with my phone and give you guys a tour of the bus. Those that haven't seen the bus, I'll give you a tour of the bus. Let's see. Back from Glastonbury, England, painted a lot of bodies. I bet. You got any pictures? You got my email? Send them to me. Send them to me. Do you guys have any more questions? Let me get signed on with my cell phone. Give me just a minute, and I will sign on with my cell phone and show you the bus. I need to clean it. I'm not gonna lie. I need to clean it. We'll get it clean, and then you can really see. I will sign on with my cell phone real quick. I'll show you. Okay. StreamYard. Attend. Enter the studio. That I'm gonna allow. Give me just a minute. I'm signing on. I'll put my name in. I'll put Rock 2. How about that? And I'm done. Okay, you guys there? Let's see here. I'm gonna get my glasses on so I can turn the camera around so you can see it. Oh, well, how do I turn the camera around? Well, maybe I gotta do like that. Because it don't give me, it's not giving me anything to turn the camera around. So, we'll do it this way. Hopefully this will work for you. Okay, there's the front of it. I can't really see what I'm showing you, so. And then, hopefully it's showing you guys things. I can't tell, so hopefully it is, because I got the camera turned around. And then, all kinds of spices. Hopefully you guys can see this. Oop, let me open this door. Here's the bathroom, the first bathroom. Just got a toilet, sink, cabinets. Oh. There's the washer and dryer. I have the TV for this. Right there. And I need to put that on. And there's that. Hopefully that shows you guys everything. I look like shit, so. There you go. Now. Oh, did it go blank? What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened. Shit. I've got too many of me. Let's see here. Give me just a minute. Operator error. Operator error. Okay. Huh. Are you guys there? All right. Is that better? I bet you didn't see hardly anything. It's a black screen. Well, you know what? I'll do a video. Or next time I come on with my phone, I'll come on with my phone and show you guys. Guess I can't do it with already a live going. When let's see here. Thanks, Hawkeyes. Love chatting with you all. Yeah, Hawkeyes has their own channel. Hawkeyes, share your channel. Bianca has her own channel. Whoever's got a channel, please share it. Please share your channels. Share your channels. Let's see here. After this live, I can end this live, and then I can just make a quick live and go with the phone. Probably a good thing, because I showed myself in the mirror. Y'all don't want to see me. No, I didn't cover the camera. That's weird. I had to turn my phone around, though, because it gave me no option to flip it. I don't know what happened there, guys. I don't know. Black screen. Okay, well, when I end this, I'll start a whole nother live, and it'll be from my cell phone, so you can see it. So you can see it. Rock, you need glow paint this year. Hell yeah. All the way to the bedroom door and bathroom. Oh, okay. Well, I'll sign back on. Go join Hawkeyes and Bianca. Did you guys have any more questions? And anybody that wants to see the bus, I'll go live here in a second so you can see the bus. But any questions, any thoughts about this case in general? This case in general, what do you think is going to happen? Will it really be June of next year before we have a trial? It looks that way. It does look that way. Yeah, saw your bedroom in the bus, damn straight. Love to see the bus. Yeah, I'm going to go live with my cell phone when we're done here. And I should be able to, because, listen, I did a lot of lives when boots on the ground. So I'll show you the bus. And then I can turn it around where you can actually, I can see what I'm filming so you guys can see it. Deb says, I think they're all fucked. I hope they're all fucked. I hope they have no chances of winning anything. You know, I have people email me. We're going to address this too. I have people email me all the time. Well, I hope they don't get off because you've shown stuff and because you showed it, they're going to get off. Listen, surely, Buddy Leach and them has a strong case. Now, one thing that's always bothered me is Paul Grice admitted to all this in the presence of OSBI. He told OSBI, and they let him go after he admitted to it. Let him go home. And I'll never understand why they didn't get a warrant and arrest him right there. Listen, I don't care if he said he was going to turn himself in. If you guys remember, he asked a neighbor, how do you get your family to Mexico? He was planning on running, if that's true, what the neighbor said. Rock, don't forget to put Jane's disco ball up. Yeah, no kidding. This has surround sound, too, throughout the whole bus. And it's pretty loud. It's really loud. I don't have it on right now. I got room for everybody. We'll make room. I still have my pop-up camper. It's over at Girly Girls. Oh, we can take the bus, pull the Jeep, and the Jeep can pull the damn pop-up camper. It's got air conditioning. It's got everything, too. Plenty of room. You know, at some point, maybe we'll all take a vacation together or something. Anybody that wants to go. Even if Bianca wants to come over and Jane, got places for you, and we can travel. We can travel in the bus. That's how I feel about it. And listen, anybody that was a member of this channel before and left or whatever, I don't have anybody blocked now. So all I say is we're not going to deal with drama. Black Opal too, absolutely. We're not going to deal with drama. Now, when people say, you know, Rock has did bad things and ran off for people, I still got a lot of the same people that I started with, even before the Kansas Moms case. So that's a false statement that I'm just not going to entertain. You know, people can think whatever they want. One thing I've noticed with YouTube is people try to take it real life. That's sad, very sad. There's a lot of people that, I mean, just look at Las Vegas. with Benny and his wife. You know, they got into it with another YouTuber, and that YouTuber and his wife tracked him down, and he shot and killed him right there in front of everybody, in front of the fountains in Vegas. Okay. Then go over to the country rap genre. There was a guy that does captions of where he reviews songs and stuff. He went to another YouTuber's town and to fight and got slapped. But it could have got worse because he had his gun on him. I mean, I'm just saying, YouTube is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Jane says, Daisy, I'll let you in my bedroom in Rock's bus as long as you don't snore. That's right. Beach Baby says she thinks the 5 are fucked. Bianca says, yes, Hawkeye is a black opal. Yes. Everybody's welcome. I love everybody in here. You guys are all good people. You all care. You want to make sure that things are done right. Just like the people that care on whether or not Veronica's brothers are around the kids. They're still paying attention. They're in that area. They know. They know. They're paying attention. Somebody's got to look out for the kids. And hopefully Children's Services is starting to look out for them, you know. All right, I'm going to end this live, and then I'll go live on my phone and show you guys the bus that way so you can see it. And I'll get the camera working right so that we're not just looking at a black screen. I'm thinking I need a bigger bus too. 40 foot is just not big enough. I need a double decker, right? I need a double decker. Is that what you're saying? The one thing, we wanted a bus so bad, and it had to be diesel. One thing I do regret is we bought a Fred, is what they call it. And that means it's a front end diesel, and it's loud. So I can't be live driving. So I wish the right one would have came along and it would have been a diesel in the back. But yeah, double decker. Girly girl, you know I love you too. I need to come get that pop-up. I just been dealing with so much. So much. Girly girl, I love you so much. You know it. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to go live on my phone, and I'm going to show you the bus. So in the meantime, I'm going to close this out, play this song, and go bring up the live and get the camera turned around. Okay? Here we go.
Lockjaw family rising up like a storm. Oklahoma, Kansas roots been reborn. Texas fires burned under California skies. OHIO screaming into the night. Smith and Wesson, locked, loaded, they gleam. German Shepherd pups chasing down their dreams. Fire it up from the plains to the hills. Kansas hearts beat wild, unchained by their wills. Smith and Wesson, locked, loaded, they gleam. German Shepherd pups chasing down their dreams. Fire it up from the plains to the hills. Kansas hearts beat wild, unchained by their wills. Devin, sit back, I got Micah, they cry. Mama lost, holds her head in the sky. Mother Gully 420 battled her way. Jezebel witch won't be silenced today. Bitter winds howl on the edge of the plains. Dust and struggle carve lives in their veins. Legends whispered in the fields they blaze. Ignite the night, set the world in a craze. Lost and found in the shadow of fight. Family names tattooed in the heart's light. Steel strings screaming under crimson skies. Feed the fire, don't let it die. Unleash the howl of the wolves at their backs. Spread the call through the winds and the cracks. Unity forged through the ash and the flame. Lockjaw family, forever the name. they say, I got mighty good at cry. Mama lost, holds her head in the sky. Mother belly for 20, battled her way. Kansas hearts beat wild, unchained round her way. Those who say, I got mighty good at cry. Mama lost, holds her head in the sky. In the sky. Mother belly for 20, battled her way. Jezebel witch won't be silenced today. Die, die, won't let it silence today.
Let me tell you about a crew that's cooler than cool. We got the Rock Chalk family breaking every rule. Deb's typing so fast, smoke's coming from the keys. She got emails done before you've even said please. Nora's out of balloon, dodging wings on the lane. A tornado's chasing, but she's like, not today. Like it's crooning Jolene, giving Dolly a run. Christopher's like, y'all, Bible study's more fun. Beach babies out there building castles in the sand. Lavender's so sweet, she's got bees holding hands. Rock Chalk chaos, the party never ends. We got love, we've got jokes, we've got weird best friends. Every day's a circus, and we wouldn't change a thing. Rock Chalk family, we're the Chaos Kings. Ostrich hit the spotlight, now she's signing autographs. Bianca's got tunes that'll make you bust a laugh. Jezebel's on a broomstick, Starbucks in hand. She says, living the dream, honey, that was my plan. Holly K's so stunned, she breaks cameras with a glow. Leroy's just vibing like, go with the flow. American Honey's cracking jokes at full throttle. Tiny Todd solving puzzles while sipping from a Rock Chalk chaos, the party never ends. We got love, we've got jokes, we've got weird best friends. Every day's a circus, and we wouldn't change a thing. Rock Chalk family, we're the Chaos Kings. Girly girl's here spreading love by the mile. She's got strangers turning hearts with just a smile. Meanwhile, the crew's got shenanigans on lock. Who needs a calm life when you got Rock Chalk?